When we think about nursing homes, many imagine a place of safety, care, and community. But the reality is often more complex than it seems. There are truths hidden behind the polished brochures and smiling advertisements. Truths that many only discover after stepping inside. The first shocking truth is that loneliness can exist even in a crowded room. Seniors may be surrounded by others, yet feel isolated because meaningful conversations and emotional connections are often missing. But loneliness doesn't have to define this chapter of life. By keeping the body active, engaging in gentle group exercises, and choosing a balanced diet full of fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, one can lift energy levels and create opportunities for new bonds and friendships that bring true warmth to the heart. Loneliness in nursing homes is one of the most unexpected and painful truths many seniors face. People often believe that being surrounded by dozens of residents, caregivers, and staff automatically ensures companionship and conversation. But the reality is that loneliness can thrive even in a crowded environment. It is not the number of people around that matters, but the depth of the connections made. For many elderly individuals, moving into a nursing home feels like stepping into a completely new world, where familiar faces are absent. Daily routines change, and the comfort of long-held relationships is replaced by an unfamiliar atmosphere. This sudden shift can create a sense of emptiness, where even if voices echo down the hallway, the silence inside the heart remains heavy. Loneliness is not only emotional, it takes a physical toll as well. Studies show that isolation can weaken the immune system, increase the risk of depression, and accelerate cognitive decline, making it just as harmful as any chronic illness. The body responds to feelings of isolation with stress, which can worsen existing health conditions. Seniors who once enjoyed a vibrant social life may find themselves withdrawing, losing interest in hobbies, or feeling too tired to engage with others. Yet loneliness, while deeply painful, is not unshakable. There are powerful ways to fight back and rediscover joy even in the nursing home setting. One of the most effective is through physical activity, even in its gentlest forms. Group exercises like chair yoga, light stretching, or simple walking sessions in the garden provide opportunities not just to move the body, but also to spark conversations. When residents join together to exercise, laughter and encouragement naturally follow, creating bonds that grow over time. A shared sense of accomplishment turns exercise into something more than physical care. It becomes a social connector. Nutrition also plays a role in reducing loneliness. Sharing healthy meals with others, focusing on colorful fruits, leafy greens, lean proteins, and whole grains, creates moments of connection. Food has always been a universal language of love and community. And in nursing homes, communal dining can transform mealtimes into a chance for friendships to bloom. Eating together can shift the focus from solitude to belonging, reminding seniors that they are part of a greater circle. Beyond physical habits, nurturing the mind is equally important. Participating in group storytelling, music sessions, or simply taking part in afternoon tea conversations allows seniors to be heard, valued, and appreciated. When someone feels their words matter, their sense of loneliness begins to fade. Developing a positive mindset is essential because perspective shapes experience. Choosing to greet others with a smile, starting the day with affirmations, or practicing gratitude journaling can slowly open doors to deeper connections. Even when the environment feels cold, the warmth of human spirit can create light. Nursing homes may not always provide instant companionship, but with healthy habits, intentional actions, and a hopeful outlook, loneliness can be transformed into an opportunity for building new and meaningful bonds. The loss of independence is one of the most difficult adjustments many seniors face after moving into a nursing home. For decades, they may have lived on their own terms, waking up when they pleased, cooking meals they loved, and following routines that gave them a sense of ownership over their lives. But once they enter a structured environment, much of that autonomy is suddenly taken away. Set meal times, fixed medication schedules, and strict rules about visiting hours can make individuals feel as if they are no longer in control of their daily existence. This shift can be emotionally overwhelming, leading to frustration, sadness, and even a loss of identity. Because independence is not just about physical actions, it is about dignity, choice, and self-expression. The feeling of being told when to eat, sleep, or participate can make even simple activities seem burdensome, as though one's voice no longer carries weight. However, while complete independence may be difficult to maintain in such a setting, it does not mean that seniors cannot reclaim a sense of control over their lives. Small daily victories can create powerful shifts in how one experiences life. Establishing personal routines even within the framework of a nursing home helps restore balance. Waking up a little earlier to enjoy a quiet moment with tea, practicing deep breathing or stretching before breakfast, or journaling in the evenings are ways to take back ownership of time. These little rituals may seem minor, but they create consistency and meaning, offering a reminder that life is still directed by personal choices. Health-conscious habits also play a critical role in regaining control. A diet focused on fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins gives seniors not only physical strength but also a sense of empowerment. Choosing what to eat when possible, or requesting small adjustments like herbal teas, extra greens, or fresh fruit, helps restore autonomy over personal health. Hydration, often overlooked, can also become an empowering act, symbolizing care for oneself rather than waiting for others to provide it. Pairing this with regular light exercise builds confidence. Simple walks around the garden, chair yoga, or gentle stretching not only strengthen the body but also strengthen the belief that mobility and vitality still belong to the individual. Beyond diet and movement, mindset is the foundation of reclaiming independence. When a person chooses to view life not as something happening to them but something they are actively shaping, everything changes. Affirmations, gratitude journaling, or even setting small daily goals such as reading a chapter of a book, learning a new hobby, or reaching out to a fellow resident, instill a sense of achievement and self-worth. It is in these daily decisions that independence is redefined. While the broader system of a nursing home may impose limits, inner freedom can never be taken away. By nurturing physical health, developing intentional habits, and embracing a positive perspective, seniors can rise above feelings of restriction and find empowerment in shaping their own journey, even within the boundaries of structured care. Here 3. Not all care in nursing homes feels personal, and this realization can be one of the most challenging experiences for seniors who move into such environments. Staff members are often dedicated and hardworking, but the reality is that they must manage dozens of residents with varying needs, leaving little time for personalized attention. This can make older adults feel as though they are being treated as tasks to be completed, rather than individuals with unique histories, preferences, and emotions. For someone who has lived a life filled with choices and personal routines, the sudden shift to being served meals without regard for taste, given medication quickly without conversation, or rarely asked about personal preferences can feel deeply disheartening. The absence of personal care is not just about physical neglect, but also about emotional invisibility, the painful sense that individuality no longer matters within a structured system. Yet within this challenge lies the opportunity to reclaim a sense of value and identity. The first and most powerful step is communication. Seniors who express their needs openly, whether it is asking for a favorite meal, requesting flexibility in routines, or expressing interest in specific activities, create space for individuality to be acknowledged. Family members can also help by advocating for loved ones, reminding staff that behind every resident is a person with a unique story worth honoring. But even beyond relying on external support, the most empowering approach is taking personal responsibility for one's own well-being. Nutrition becomes an essential tool of self-care in this process. When residents focus on eating nutrient-rich foods such as fresh fruits, leafy vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, they support their physical strength and mental clarity. Even small choices like asking for an extra serving of greens or opting for water instead of sugary drinks can feel like acts of empowerment. Food becomes not only a source of nourishment, but also a reminder that one can still shape their own health and vitality. This personal agency helps counteract the feeling of being overlooked. Physical activity adds another layer of empowerment. Simple practices like chair yoga, light stretching, or short walks in the garden build strength and mobility while also restoring a sense of independence. These daily routines do not depend on anyone else's permission and become a statement of self-determination. They reinforce the message that while the broader system may be impersonal, the ability to nurture one's body remains deeply personal. Equally important is emotional and creative care. Nursing homes may focus heavily on physical health, but residents can create their own moments of joy by engaging in hobbies such as painting, journaling, music, or gardening. Sharing stories, initiating conversations, and forming small circles of connection with other residents transform the environment into one of meaning rather than monotony. These personal touches ensure that even in a system designed for efficiency, individuality continues to shine. Ultimately, mindset ties everything together. By practicing affirmations, reflecting on self-worth, and reminding themselves daily that they are more than just residents in a facility, seniors can push back against feelings of invisibility. Personal care may not always come from the outside, but it can always be cultivated from within. Through intentional nutrition, gentle movement, creative outlets, and a strong mindset, seniors can rise above the limitations of impersonal systems and continue to experience life as individuals with dignity, resilience, and value. For one of the hardest realities of living in a nursing home is the emotional toll of watching peers decline. Every resident enters with their own story, their own memories, and their own strength. But time has its way of reminding everyone that aging comes with challenges. For many seniors, the day begins with the joy of sharing a smile or a conversation with a fellow resident, only to be shadowed by the worry of seeing that same friend struggle with illness or weakness. These constant reminders of fragility can feel heavy on the heart, creating sadness, anxiety, and even fear about one's own journey. It is painful to watch companions gradually lose their independence, and the mind naturally begins to ask, "Am I next?" This environment can sometimes feel like a cycle of loss, where bonds are formed only to be tested by illness or decline. But even in this difficult truth, there is space for strength, compassion, and resilience. The first step in handling this emotional toll is cultivating gratitude. When surrounded by loss, the mind often focuses on what is missing, but consciously shifting focus to what still exists makes a profound difference. Waking up and giving thanks for a new day, appreciating the ability to walk, breathe, or simply enjoy the taste of a meal, helps anchor the spirit in positivity. Gratitude journaling, even in its simplest form of writing down 3 things each day that bring joy, allows seniors to redirect their attention from decline to appreciation. These small acts of thankfulness create a protective shield against despair, reminding them that life still offers beauty. Another way to cope is through meditation and prayer. Quiet moments of reflection or spiritual connection provide comfort, peace, and a sense of hope that transcends the walls of a nursing home. Meditation lowers stress, calms the mind, and creates inner resilience that helps seniors handle the emotional weight of seeing others decline. Prayer or spiritual rituals can also instill strength, offering faith that life continues to hold purpose even in its later stages. Engaging in hobbies and creative outlets further builds emotional resilience. When sadness feels overwhelming, painting, reading, writing, or listening to music can lift the spirit and redirect focus. These activities are not just distractions. They are therapeutic, giving residents a way to express themselves, process emotions, and create meaning in their days. Sharing these hobbies with others deepens connection and helps transform the nursing home environment into one filled with vibrancy and life. Social bonds also play a critical role in navigating this emotional challenge. While it can be heartbreaking to see friends struggle, it is also an opportunity to offer comfort, kindness, and support. Being present for others, lending an ear, or sharing moments of laughter turns pain into purpose. Even when decline is inevitable, the act of caring strengthens both the giver and the receiver. Through empathy, residents discover that they are not powerless but rather capable of creating light for others, even in dark moments. A positive mindset becomes the cornerstone of surviving and thriving in such an environment. Choosing to view decline not as an ending but as a reminder of the value of the present moment changes everything. Life in a nursing home may bring sorrow, but it can also inspire deeper gratitude for today, stronger bonds of friendship, and a renewed appreciation for resilience. By embracing gratitude, cultivating peace, exploring creativity, and offering kindness, seniors can rise above the emotional weight of decline and discover that even in the face of hardship, the human spirit has the power to shine. For many people see the move into a nursing home as the final chapter of life, a place where days blend into routines and opportunities for growth seem limited. But the truth is that this stage can become a powerful new beginning. It is easy to think that leaving behind a familiar home and adjusting to a new environment means closing doors on independence, purpose, and joy, yet with the right mindset, it can open fresh pathways to discovery. The nursing home can be a setting where new friendships blossom, where stories are shared across dining tables, and where the wisdom of years transforms into inspiration for others. Instead of being an end, it can be a transition into a lifestyle that offers chances to live with dignity, to care for the body in new ways, and to nurture the mind with positivity. The first key to making this transition meaningful is maintaining a diet that supports vitality. Eating fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains not only strengthens the body, but also renews energy, ensuring that the golden years are not weighed down by fatigue. Choosing herbal teas over sugary drinks, focusing on hydration and requesting nutrient-dense meals empowers residents to actively shape their health. A balanced diet supports mental clarity and emotional stability, creating a foundation for optimism and resilience. Nourishing the body is a way of reminding oneself that life is still worth investing in, and that self-care is a form of celebration. Movement is equally important. Daily activity, even in its simplest form, can transform the experience of living in a nursing home. A short morning walk, light stretching, chair yoga, or gentle breathing exercises encourage strength, mobility, and confidence. Movement not only maintains physical health but also fuels the spirit, providing a sense of accomplishment and independence. Exercise can become a social activity too, a chance to laugh, share encouragement, and build camaraderie with fellow residents. This turns what might feel like a routine into an uplifting practice that uplifts both body and soul. Beyond diet and exercise, cultivating healthy lifestyle habits helps redefine nursing home life. Setting small daily goals such as reading a chapter of a book, learning a new hobby, or starting a gratitude journal provides structure and a sense of purpose. Engaging in creative activities like painting, storytelling, or music adds meaning and joy. These pursuits show that growth does not stop with age. In fact, it often becomes richer, grounded in years of experience and perspective. Perhaps the most powerful transformation comes from mindset. Viewing this chapter as an opportunity rather than an ending shifts everything. A positive outlook creates resilience against challenges, turning limitations into lessons and struggles into stepping stones. Smiling more often, speaking words of encouragement to oneself and others, and embracing the present moment with gratitude make life feel full again. In a nursing home where some see decline, others can choose to see potential. The potential to inspire, to love, to grow, and to live with renewed purpose. This choice allows seniors to step into their days not with resignation, but with the quiet strength of knowing that every moment still holds value, meaning, and possibility.